Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected. KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Real Men of Real Estate, the one that's hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. We're looking to have a real good show. I'm excited for my guest here. My guest here is a female that's in the industry, and it was a way to close out Women's Month. So this is just one of those exciting things. This young lady is a part of my real estate investment club, which is called the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. You can find me on Meetup, or you can go to my website, which is BIEREIC.com, and be a part of it and just come have fun. The young lady that's going to be talking with me today, her name is Delphina Miller, and I would like to introduce her at this point. So how you doing, Delphina?
Good. Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. So you are very amazing at what you do. I mean, when I met you 4 years ago, you and your husband, you was just zipping all over the world, and I'm like, when did she find time to sleep, man? So it was like, wow. So won't you give the audience a little bit about your background, who you are you, where you from, you born and bred, and things like that?
I am born and bred here in Southern California. I grew up in Watts.
Wow. Go ahead.
Watts life. I grew up in Watts, right down the street from Jordan Downs Projects.
Okay.
And I went to school, primary school on the east side. I went to middle school and high school on the west side, West LA.
Okay.
Go Uni. And life happened during my senior year. I was a teen parent.
Okay.
So, reality kicked in real fast for me, and I had to grow up because I had to take care of this little person. So I've had, jobs everywhere, doing everything from call centers to healthcare. I've worked in healthcare for a number of years.
What did you specialize in?
I worked as an ER tech.
Okay.
So whatever was coming through the door, whatever traumatic situations, you had to be ready.
Okay.
So, and I loved it. But I pivoted to real estate because I had a work-related injury that left me with a disability.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to perform in that role. So I had to figure out, oh God, what am I going to do to provide a living for myself if I can't do what I love? So I started looking at options. I actually went and got like my notary commission because I figured, okay, I can do loan signings. And then I was like, well, that's not enough. So then I pursued my real estate license. So I got my real estate license in Nevada. And I was like, okay.
So wait a minute, hold on. How did you get your real estate license in Nevada, but you live in California? Explain that.
Well, let me rewind the tape a little bit. In 2005, I did purchase a new home in Nevada. So my husband, or ex-husband now, but my husband at the time, we actually moved from Southern California and we moved to Vegas.
Okay.
So, we purchased a home, and that's how I ended up in Nevada. I know. So, and life happened, that marriage ended, I remarried, and that's what brought me back to California.
Okay. So you went and got your license in Nevada. So
Yes.
as far as you working in Nevada, what sparked you to get your license in Nevada?
Well, I got hurt at work. So if I didn't know if I was going to lose my job, how I would be able to provide for my family. So I had to find something to do.
So, was the Nevada market what you expected, or it wasn't?
It was hot. So, and it's been pretty fluid. So, yeah.
Okay, so now you're back at California.
hmm
Now, did you shift getting your license here, or how did that work?
Not the real estate license. So, when I knew that I would be transitioning to come back to Southern California, I said, well, I don't want to do real estate there because of the traffic situation here. And we know that it takes like an hour and a half to go about 8 miles down the street in LA.
Depending on which freeway you on.
Well, yeah, and depending on what time of day you're traveling, so just a number of different factors. So I just said, nah, I don't want to deal with that rat race. So I had actually started prepping myself while I was in Nevada to come back. I started studying for my lending license or the NMLS license. And I did not pass the first time around. It's okay. Everybody deserves a second chance, but second time around, but I just kind of winged it. I really didn't study much. I thought I could just walk in there and me
Just like
being
most
me.
people do,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
So life was like, nope. But I was really close to passing, but I gave myself another 30 days because you have to wait 30 days in between attempts. So I gave myself 30 days to really just hone in on it. And I was successful, but trust me, my heart was pounding because that little clock is spinning. And before you get up from that computer, whether or not you pass. So I passed, and I was like, wow. So, and then I said, okay, well, that was the easy part. Now the hard part is next. So then you have to decide, okay, well, what company do you want to be a part of? So um, prior to moving back, I had actually met with, different companies to see if it would be a good fit. And there were some that were actually in LA County, but too far. I knew I wasn't moving back, to LA. I was going to be stationed inland, so I didn't want to deal with that commute. So I was looking for companies that were closer to home for me because we have children. And I wanted to be able to, if there's an emergency or if the kids, need one of us, that, I could be available for
Okay.
them. So.
So, for those who might not understand mortgage lending, help us to understand what mortgage lending is and how would it work for an individual, whether it's a client or someone that wants to get into the industry.
So we are pretty much the money people. Before you meet with your real estate agent, you need to get with the money people to find out how much house you could qualify for. So we'll ask you to submit all these documents, income, tax information, your assets. We'll look at your liabilities. We will look at your entire picture. Of course, we'll run your credit. And once we go through a process and we verify all the information that people submit, then we could approve them or get an approval for how much house they'd be able to purchase.
So, if someone come to you with um, insufficient credit score, how do you work with them, or what's the process for them to be able to get a loan to get a home?
So every case is different. There have been no two cases that have been the same. We will just sit down and put together a plan, for their situation. If they have high balances on accounts, maybe we could work out a way for them to pay it down after so long, and then maybe we can go back and look at credit to see if it's strong enough for us to get an approval
Now,
later on.
we know that some time ago they had a thing called predatory lending, and a lot of people wasn't able. They was qualifying, but as far as finance is concerned, their debt income ratio wasn't sufficient for them to keep the home after they got it. So, helping people to understand the significance of making sure that their credit is substantial, so they can be able to afford a home versus staying in an apartment. Explain that.
Sorry. I'm a little goofy, and that was long and drawn out. So, can you please repeat that?
Okay. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people that are looking for homes,
Right.
and financially, their debt income ratio doesn't qualify them for, and a lot of people want something right now. So, understanding what's the purpose of them having a substantial credit score, and how would they be able to obtain that so they can be able to profit from getting homes.
Yeah, the stronger the credit, the greater the assets, the less the liability, the stronger the chance people have in order to be able to qualify for a home loan. Once everything has to just make sense. So you don't want to have an income where you're paying 80% or 90% of your living expenses, or 80% of your income to cover your living expenses. So everything just has to make sense.
Okay, so in 2008, when the market crashed, um, how was the lending industry then?
I was not in the field at that time.
Okay, okay.
I was not in the field at that time, and but during that time, life was happening for me. So yeah, I had to make some moves and make
Okay.
some decisions.
So, besides doing mortgage lending, what else have you done?
So besides healthcare, and I'm actually like an active notary, so I'm a signing agent.
Okay.
I do closings. So when people are ready to sign closing documents, when they've gone through the process to purchase their properties, or if they have refinanced their properties. Well, I'm the girl that, sits across the table from them, and I walk them through their documents, collect signatures, have them, sign, date, and initial. And I return documents back to either the escrow or title companies that contract me. So, and with that, I go everywhere.
Well, we know that right now. For those who don't know, I met Delphina, her husband, about 4 years ago, and this young lady was driving from Sacramento to San Diego. That's how serious it was. Um, so you are a mobile notary now.
I am.
Okay, so that means that if people needs a notary, they can contact you. So
Absolutely.
you wear multi hats then.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
and wearing the hats that you have, what's the most, what's the best one that you like the best, or and which one is it that you like the least? If you can expound on that.
Wow, that's tough. I love being a mom. I love being a mom because I've got four, and all four personalities are completely different. So I'm going to say I like that one the most. The one that I like the least, I'm probably like just the go to person for a lot of people, that I know that love me and that I love. And sometimes it gets a little overwhelming because everybody needs help and I love to help. And sometimes I'm helping too much to the point where I'm putting my stuff that I need to do for me on the back burner. So, but I've gotten better. I've learned how to say no. I've learned how to, just not, okay, if the phone buzzes, I'm not gonna like jump to the phone. If somebody needs something, they'll send a text. So now I have my work and my personal life separate. So I've got a work phone and I've got my personal phone. A lot of my people that are nearest and dearest to me, they don't have my work number, but after this, they probably will. So they may start sending me messages like, "Hey, if she didn't answer."
So here's a question: if someone was interested in getting into the mortgage lending side, what would you tell them, and how would you help them get to that point?
So, you first need to take a class that is required for your state For California, it is a 20-hour course. You can do in person, online. Um, so there are different options, but you do need to complete the 20-hour course. Some of the programs they do offer, like an exam prep course to prep you for the NMLS exam. I said that was probably the hardest exam that I've ever taken. And, I've taken different certification exams over the years for different things, even like the real estate course. I mean, I passed, like, for Nevada, I passed national and federal, or excuse me, national and state in the same day. So, but yeah, that NMLS exam, it's pretty beastie.
So now, not sure if you have your MLS, which means you could actually have your own brokerage.
Well, I have my license, so I do work under a mortgage banker. So I am partnered with a company.
Oh, so you partnered in.
Yes.
Okay, because I understand. Okay, I understand that it takes some time to be able to do a lot of things with the access that you have, and that's brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break right now, and when we come back, we'll be more back with Delphina. Thank you for listening to the Real Men of Real Estate.
I love how New School is able to help me greatly with my career.
Because they actually have experience working in the field.
The greatest thing about New School is the fact that there are so many different disciplines, which allows you to really understand and get a good insight into different types of design. And I think it's that whole changing mindset of what design can really do for a city, and this is kind of the place to be.
This environment cultivates creative thinking.
The toughest part in the lending process is patience. Like I tell all my clients, once you get those keys in hand, it'll all be worth it.
Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. I saved so much money working with First Lending Solutions. I love my new house. I couldn't be happier.
So reach out to me at First Lending Solutions so I can help you get started.
You can contact Delphina Miller with First Lending Solutions at 951-973-0123, DelphinaMillerMortgage.com.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate. Your host, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. here with my special guest, Delphina Miller. So we was talking about earlier the mortgage industry process and how do people get into it if they're looking to get into it. So also what you doing, the mortgage lending, what else are you doing?
So I have just started acquiring short-term rentals.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So how is that? How did that get into play?
So I remember when you posted last year, I can't remember which month, that Jay Massey was going to be a guest. And I just remember the months prior to Jay being on the show, you were just like hyping him up. Like, yeah, I've got this guy, he's going to be on the show and, this is what he does and he's just going to blow you away. And I'm just like, oh man, like, I can't wait. But then when the day came, guess what? I wasn't available and I could not attend that meeting.
So wait a minute. Before you go, let's go a little bit further back.
Okay.
What made you, or how did you find out about the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club?
I found out about this club, Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, from attending the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. So I had just been looking for networking opportunities, and Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club popped up. I can't remember like how it popped up, but it popped up and I was like, oh, well, they meet, like once a month, it's Riverside, it's not that far. So let me go and check it out. So I went to a meeting and you actually walked up. Actually, I saw you kind of going to different people, and I'm just like, okay, well, he's probably been doing this for a long time because he know everybody. And when I say everybody, he know everybody in the house. So then you walked over to me, you introduced yourself, and you told me like what you did. You said, yeah, just show up. Like I knew nobody. When I say nobody, like I had the name badge on and I knew nobody in the room, but everybody was like super warm and welcoming, when I went. And I was just like, okay, yeah, this is good. So, and from there, you introduced the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. So you said, yeah, come and check us out. So, and then I started going to, your meetings. And then COVID happened, a few months later and shut everything down. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you some of the other part of the story. I harassed her, and I
Yes.
harassed her, and I harassed her. I got on her because I saw a lot of potential in her, and she was zooming from city to city and all the time and really didn't have time to come to the meetings. And this is how we get to where she started off speaking about listening to Jay Massey at my meeting. He spoke at my meeting back in October. Like she said, she wasn't able to attend, but I had posted on Facebook. And she sat there and dissected it for the 3 hours that it was. And I'm going to let you finish it from there.
So I was not able to attend the meeting for when Jay Massey was present. So, and I, maybe like a month or so had gone by and I was like, wait a minute. I missed the meeting. So then I kept like writing a note to myself, sticking it on my monitor, like go back and listen to it. So finally, like one day, I was just like, okay, let me do this. So I just, every time he said something that just kind of hit a nerve, I hit pause on that recording. I have pages and pages of notes just from that one session. And one thing will always stick, what Jay said. And he said, just do something.
Amen.
Just do something. And I was like, okay, every day I need to do something, or weekly, even if it's research, even if it's references, even if it's, driving around, like I need to do something. But I was like, no, I can do this. Because I have been attending these meetings, and have met so many amazing people, investors, and like everybody's right there. Like people kind of know me, so if I need help with something, like, I've got like people that I can access, that I can go to. And I was like, and, I had been looking for my niche, like, okay, what do I want to do? That I want to, flip? Do I want to, hold? What do I want to do? So I was like, no, this is good. I don't have to buy nothing, own nothing, but I can still like make money off of this. I can profit. So yeah, this is my baby now.
So go through the process after you looked at the video and different things like that. What did you do next?
What did I do next? So I was trying to figure out where would I want to get, my first unit at. Did I want it to be close to home? How far did I want to drive? That way, if I needed to take care of like maintenance issues or whatever. But I just happened to be like at a closing appointment one day, and the lady was, purchasing a home. She was actually moving out of a unit. So then I go, well, have you guys found anybody to lease the place? And she was like, not that I know of. And I was like, oh, I said, is the owner like a, property manager, or is it a property management company, or is it a private owner? And she said, it's a private owner. Actually, it's my mom and my aunt. And I said, oh, I said, can you put me in contact with them? And she was like, well, yeah, my mom's in the other room. I said, okay, we'll deal with that. Like, let's get you through your closing first. I said, and then like maybe when we're done, you can introduce me to her. And it's been golden from there.
So, which city was this in?
In Inglewood.
So, what prompted you to go to Inglewood?
You know what? That timing was like on point because stadium's right down the street. It's within walking distance from my unit. So, cha-ching.
Well, the biggest reason why I pointed that out because at the time when Jay spoke, he was looking to buy units in Inglewood, to get units in Inglewood because of the Super Bowl, and take an opportunity to benefit from being in that city because of the upcoming of what's going on in that city. So she was inspired by Jay Massey to go ahead and find a unit in Inglewood. And as you did that, what else happened?
So I received the blessing from both owners, and I started, to put together the plan. So I walked through the unit. I hired a family member to accompany me, who has, had been in the construction field for years. So just having those, I just call them like contractor's eyes,
Right.
because I wouldn't know, what materials, would be needed to take care of, different projects in a unit. And so we started from there. So, we ordered materials. We put together a plan for, when things would be, all the upgrades would be completed. And, things weren't moving in a fashion or at the speed of, the way that I would have liked for things to have, moved. So I had to fire the family member.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah. So I love you. I love you. And I will always love you. But business is business.
And the best part of that is not that it was the family member, but when you got a project going on and things are not going right to your specifications, sometimes you do have to let people go. That's one of the hardest things to do because, you did already divested money and time and energy into something and things are not going the way you expected and you're paying for this. So you need to get what you expect. And sometimes you have to, be the bad guy. You can't be the good guy all the time. You got to play the bad guy sometimes to meet a certain deadline. And that's the one thing that people don't understand is when it comes to, doing business that you are not expected to keep people. I mean, in order to do the business of real estate, you are going to run in times where your contractor is who makes the deal. It's not just the money aspect of it, it's your contractor. And if your contractor doesn't have the right subs and they milking the clock and they don't show up every day and, they're not doing everything and they have the wrong materials and things like that, there's no point for you to keep that person. Yeah, it's going to cost more money because now you got to go hire somebody else to finish the job. You know what I'm saying? So you're spending more out of the budget than what you expected. And that's something that is very phenomenal because it was a family member. And, by it being a family member, it could have just disrupted the family life. It could have been one side was up on you and the other side was against you because you got a family member and they didn't show up to do what they said they was going to do. And I know that could have been a hard situation, but you put that hat on and you made it happen. So I congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
A lot of people can't do that, especially when it comes to family.
Yeah. Trust me, it was very difficult. However, I had to look at the greater picture, and the greater picture, I needed this project complete. Rent's coming up, like rent's due on the first of the month. I have no furniture in here. Flooring isn't done. Walls aren't painted. So, yeah, I had a lot to do, and I had a little bit of time, and we had to get it done. So.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to doing short-term rental, especially if you're looking at leasing a unit from an owner, you're going in to rehab the property almost like a five-star hotel, because the owner really doesn't want to put any money into rehab. He's just going to slap a coat of paint, some carpet, and call it a DAY. Well, if you do that, you making it like a five-star hotel, guess what happens? You get more of the benefits. Now, quite naturally, the owner's going to be like, okay, I'm glad you're doing the rehab part, but I want to capitalize on some of it. But you can say, hey, you want to capitalize, and you put in some money to help out. They said, no, it's okay, it's okay. So you capitalize and do the most. So the thing of it is that by you completing that, how did you feel about that?
Once the project was complete, it was just like a peaceful aura. And I actually took my shoes off. Like, once everything was done, furniture's in, I took my shoes off, and, I laid on the rug right there in the living room, and I just laid there on the floor on my back, and I just said, thank you, Lord.
Well, the one thing that inspired me about you is that, one, you come from my club. You've been coming to my club for quite some time, and you went out on a limb to do something outside your comfort zone, and you listened to what the speaker had said, and then that you accomplished that. And a lot of people don't get to that point. A lot of people are afraid, they're scared, they're not sure what it is that they need to do. So what made you just take charge and just do it? What was the definitely saying that we was doing it? Before you answer that, we're going to go to another commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Real Men of Real Estate. Thank you.
I love how New School is able to help me greatly with my career.
Because they actually have experience working in the field.
The greatest thing about New School is the fact that there are so many different disciplines, which allows you to really understand and get a good insight into different types of design. And I think it's that whole changing mindset of what design can really do for a city, and this is kind of the place to be.
This environment cultivates creative thinking.
The toughest part in the lending process is patience. Like I tell all my clients, once you get those keys in hand, it'll all be worth it.
Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. I saved so much money working with First Lending Solutions. I love my new house. I couldn't be happier.
So reach out to me at First Lending Solutions so I can help you get started.
You can contact Defina Miller with First Lending Solutions at 951-973-0123, definamillermortgage.com.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr., with our special guest, Delphina Miller. And we were just talking about what inspired her to go out and go get a unit in Inglewood versus close to her home. So if you can expound on that real quick, I appreciate it.
So, location. That just with the stadium being right down the street, I felt that Inglewood would be a great location because there's going to be lots of events when people come into, or, at the stadium, the forum's there. People want to stay near the water. It's not that far from the beach. If people wanted to be near a beach, you know. So, and that's why. And I've got, if I need different things done, I do have, people that are close by to the unit that I can, just kind of dispatch, and, who can go and take care of some things for me if need be. But I'm very hands-on, and I have been hands-on, so.
Okay, so is this going to be your only one? Or are you looking at doing multiple? And are you going to continue to do it in Inglewood, or are you going to go to other cities?
Definitely is not going to be the last one or the only one. So I've got my eye on another one. I had another one that I was interested but it ended up like not being available.
Okay.
So I kind of dragged my feet on that one. So
Okay.
I am actually getting ready to make contact tomorrow on another one, I Spy. So, and it just depends. It depends on location. It depends on, a number of different factors. So I'm not going to just limit, myself to one area, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, so being that this is Women's Month and you are a woman, how can you, if someone was coming to you and say, "Hey, I want to do what you do," how can you help them? What you would do to inspire them to follow their dream?
Reach out to me. Reach out to me and let's just have a conversation. Let's talk. Sometimes, and I have actually gotten phone calls from people that have been in our meetings, that have been in our meetings, and the timing, I was probably on my way to or coming from an appointment or just, sitting down trying to eat for the day. Because that doesn't happen often. But hey, let's work out a time, where we can chat. It's probably easiest for me during days, but you know what? No 2 days are the same. There are like some weeks where my mornings, every morning is stacked, where another week, all my evenings or the majority of my evenings are stacked. I still have to take care of home too. So, if I'm sitting at the table having dinner or, picking up little people, going to and from, football practices, with the other boy, family has to have a priority also.
So in all that you do with all these different hats, you are juggling this kind of thing like it's no problem. You taking it with stride,
One day at a time. One day. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, but tomorrow busy. And it's a Monday.
So what keeps your head focused? How do you stay focused with all the many things that you got going on? Because some people will say, "Oh, this is just too much. I can't do it. So I need help." How are you focusing, and what's the drive? What's your why? That's the question that everybody's going to ask. What is your why?
My why is them.
Okay. Good answer.
Sorry. I get a little emotional.
Okay.
But everything I do,
Take your time.
I do it for them.
So are any of your children looking to follow into your footsteps, or they're looking at doing something else?
My daughter, my oldest daughter, she graduated high school last year. She is in Florida, and she's actually pursuing her real estate license there.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's very interested.
Well, I got a lot of hookup in Florida, so we'll take care of that. I got a lot of hookup in Florida.
Right on. Yeah.
But that's the whole beauty about, life is family. Like I tell people, you've been given a personal invitation by Jesus Christ himself to sit at a never-ending table to feast. And I say the reason why we celebrate because food is an expression of love. And with that in mind is that when you get at that table, everybody don't look like you. And it has nothing to do with skin colors. Basically, you think everybody's got it going on when everybody doesn't. This is where the help is at. So if you come to the table, if you come to these meetings and you come and network, you never know who you're going to run into, who's going to be your benefactor, who's going to be your partner, who's going to be whoever and everything. It's not always going to be peaches and cream, because there are some people there that you're not going to get along with. But the majority of those people are there are willing to help. They don't want your money. They want your brain. They're not selling you books, tapes, and videos. As far as the clubs that I attend, they're all non-sales clubs. So, I'm very proud of this woman here because, she sat back and listened to something and she decided to do it based on what the gentleman was saying in the video. And from her coming to my club and doing this, it's just like this is one of my children that I can be proud of that stepped out on faith and did something that most people wouldn't do. They will always come up with excuses saying, this is the reason why I can't do it. And you just took the bull by the horns and you ran with it. And I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, Couple more minutes that before we go into our last segment here. What else do you have that most people can find that's so difficult to just take charge, especially being a woman in this world? And this is being Women's Month. Please elaborate on that.
Don't put limits on yourself. Every day is different. I have goals. And every day, just like Jay said, do something. Do something. No matter how small you think it is, do something. So, you may dibble and dabble in one area and you find, okay, this ain't for me. And you find something else. And you may have to try a few things, before you finally say, okay, I like this. Or, you know what, I can do this. So, what's for you is for you. And what's for someone else may not be for you.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah. So just, stay focused on you. And, if you need help, you get stuck, just pick up the phone and reach out, to the people that you network with. Just have somebody that you can bounce ideas and run questions through. I needed a bathtub reglazed. What I do, I didn't know anybody. Google was my friend. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we get ready to take another commercial break here, and we're going to come back and wrap it up with our guest, Delphina Miller. Thank you for listening to The Real Men of Real Estate.
I love how new school is able to help me greatly with my career.
Because they actually have experience working in the field.
The greatest thing about new school is the fact that there are so many different disciplines, which allows you to really understand and get a good insight into different types of design. And I think it's that whole changing mindset of what design can really do for a city, and this is kind of the place to be.
This environment cultivates creative thinking.
The toughest part in the lending process is patience. Like I tell all my clients, once you get those keys in hand, it'll all be worth it.
Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. I saved so much money working with First Lending Solutions. I love my new house. I couldn't be happier.
So reach out to me at First Lending Solutions so I can help you get started.
You can contact Defina Miller with First Lending Solutions at 951-973-0123, definamillermortgage.com.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Thank you again for tuning in to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. We're here with our very, very special guest, Delphina Miller. That's, how can I put it, a queen of herself, you know, a woman of all trades. They used to say a jack of all trades, a woman of all trades. So before we go, and you're doing the mortgage lending and you're doing the units that you're fixing up and sending out, what else do you do besides being a mom?
I skate.
Now, when you say skate, what kind of skating are you talking about?
Well, you know, just 4 wheels, 2 and 2s.
Oh, so you disco skate?
Well, I wouldn't call it disco, but, you know, I skate. I can rollerblade, too. I have an electric skateboard.
Well, you know, I'm a little older than you, so I disco skated back in the days.
Right on.
I love old school music. I'm sorry. I'm just stuck in the 70s, the 60s and 70s and whatnot. But, yeah, I did do that. You know, now I've gotten older, my knees done got a little bad.
Yeah. You know, my knee is trying to try me right now, but I'm not going to accept defeat or interference.
So what other hobbies do you have?
I like to hike, bike. I love dancing. I love water sports. It's
water sports?
Water sports, yeah.
Wow, that's kind of different.
Jet skis, you know.
I was going up to the coast last week, and I ended up seeing some people parasailing. I said, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that.
I would do that.
You know,
yeah.
They sitting on a kite and they got a fan on the back, and they floating up in the air over the ocean. I'm like, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that I would take a stab at diving with sharks.
Well, you can have that.
I mean, because I love Shark Week, so it's like,
okay.
you know,
yeah.
they turn the shark over, you can rub the belly and all that. They be in sleep mode and all this other stuff. So besides all that, what can a person take away from this interview today about you?
I would hope that someone can take away from this, just set goals for yourself. And no matter who is not supporting you, work on or work towards your goals. Okay?
Now, do me a favor before we go any further. Repeat that again.
Do I remember what I just said? stay focused on your goals. Set goals for yourself. And it doesn't matter who's not supporting you, keep working towards your goals. Okay? There will be people that come that you got to drop off at the bus stop and leave there. There will be people that you can pick up from the bus stop. And those people, let me tell you, they can be gems, you know, with your processes. And you have no idea how people will may be able to help you.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
I put out positive and I love to absorb it. But sometimes when you're building, there's always something that will, or somebody that will try to pull the rug right from under your feet. And when that happens, just, find another rug to stand on.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
So, with all that in mind, what did you get out the real estate investment clubs that you attended? What did you get from that?
Oh gosh, so much. Don't be afraid to talk to people. You have no idea who may be a good referral source, for you. There are people that will help you grow your business. There are people that will put you in front of other people that can help grow your business. You have no idea.
Yours truly.
You have no idea. Just network, because you can be connected in so many ways that you would not think were even possible.
Well, I thank you for those words. And I must say this, it's been a pleasure of mine to get to know you and to push you, because it took you a minute.
Oh, and you pushed. I'm about ready to push back.
But you know what? When I see that the potential and you working as hard as you are instead of smarter, yeah, I'm going to push, because my thing is that I want people to become the best of themselves. And I say, and I tell people now, why can we not buy back our neighborhoods? I don't mean our literal neighborhoods, but the question is, why should the hedge funds be able to do everything instead of us? We're here to provide a service for people, to help those who are in need or less fortunate. So, so here's the thing. If people want to reach out to you, how can they get in touch with you?
You can call me direct. My phone number is 951-973-0123. That is Dafina Miller with First Lending Solutions, 951-973-0123. You can also email me at Dafina, D as in David, AFINA, at firstlendingonline.com. I welcome your questions, and I'm happy to help in any way that I possibly can.
Well, I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you my information once again. My name is Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. You can contact me at area code 404-844-1828. Once again, that's area code 404-844-1828. Email address is first name, last name, 33@yahoo.com. Once again, that's THOMAS, C like Charles, H like Harry, A like Apple, P like Paul, P like Paul, E like Edward, L like Larry, L like Larry Jr. And we want to thank you for listening to The Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me. My next guest is next month will be Bill Tan. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.